Hey folks, how you doing? It's Coach Gavin here again from Training for Warriors Hybrid. So today's video is a follow-up on the one we posted on our page on yesterday, Thursday. So if you missed it, just scroll back and this will make so much more sense. So we're kind of covering the topic of where do we start, because often I have experienced it myself and I've seen it with my clients and I've seen it with people that I've dealt with over the years as a trainer, that we often have all these different ideas of where we want to start, but we just don't know where to go. And as we covered in video one, there's so many aspects and layers to who we are as people that there's always going to be multiple areas or multiple fronts that you can kind of want to work on and improve. Imagine having a house with 10 different rooms in it. Automatically, when you go to do renovations, you've got 10 different rooms that you have to pick from to decide what way you want to do it. 10 different styles, 10 different functions, 10 different everything, okay? So again, go back, watch video one, it'll make this one make so much more clarity. So we ended up finishing off yesterday's video by showing you how to use kind of an elimination process, or like a bracket square off. So anyone that follows team sports or anything like that then as well, we spoke about the example of tennis competitions where people are paired off on each half of the bracket and they'll face off, and then the winner will move on and move on and move on until you're only left with one winner at the end of it, okay? And that's the approach we find works pretty well when people are struggling to find their focus on where to put all their attention then as well, okay? So yesterday I identified that food was my current priority, or the current area of focus out of the four I was looking at. Now, what I want to kind of preface here, what I warn you about is, this can very easily get out of hand, okay? So don't overthink it, but at the same time, if you find you're the kind of person who you're in that constant loop over and over again of making a little bit of progress everywhere, but not making any real progress at all, well then maybe this could be the thing for you to do. But again, just try and cap it, because I even found while writing up this example for the video that I started kind of jotting down loads of stuff and it kind of clicked me going, this could get out of hand really quickly. So, just to highlight, you've got one area of focus, and for me it was food. And then in that one area there is smaller areas of focus that need your attention then as well. Because you have to make a choice whether that's the area you want to put your time and effort in on. To use the example of the house then as well, let's say you choose, we're doing the sitting room. Okay, well what needs doing? The walls, the ceiling, the floor, the layout, the structure. Putting something in, taking something out. Straight away, 6-7 options already, and that's just rattling them off without thinking anything massively about it, okay? So when it comes to food, areas that you can kind of look to work on are the quality of the food you eat. So you can say, right, I'm going to focus on eating better quality foods. You can focus on the quantity, either more or less of certain foods then as well. You can focus on the frequency, so having more regular meals and more often meals. You can focus on having a greater variety in your lifestyle then as well. Addition of foods, removal of foods. You can focus on meals themselves, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacking. You can say, right, my focus is to have better breakfast every day for the next week, the next 2 weeks, and that's the only thing you put kind of a conscious effort into. If you have a good lunch and a good dinner as a result, then that's just all a bonus, okay? Then again, you can focus on certain areas of foods then as well. So what I mean by that is kind of, so making sure you get enough nutrients. So focus on all, say, the proteins you're getting, your chicken, your beef, your lean meats, your fish, eggs, peas, beans, lentils. Focus on where you're getting your fats from, butters, nuts, nut butter oils, olive oil, things like that, coconut oil. You can focus on your greens, increasing how many green veg you're having on a daily basis. Of course, starches or carbs. Focusing on, okay, I'm going to focus on having different sources of them, water, hydration, and you can see straight away, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. So just be careful when you do this drill, folks, that if you find that doing this causes you more stress and confusion, stop straight away, go back a step, and just take it as an overall area, okay? This exercise or this drill or this tactic is used for people that just need to kind of whittle away all the fuss and just focus on one area. So again, if it's causing you any trouble, just stop straight away. So on the left-hand, well, on my left-hand side of the board here, okay, what we have is basically we've done a bigger version of yesterday's bracket. So yesterday was really easy. We had 4 options, so we 2v2, and then we finish off like that. Here we did an example where there's 16 different options then as well. And that might seem like an awful lot, but I guarantee you, if you take a pen and a piece of paper and jot down what you're doing. You'll see like we hit 15 here straight away without putting any major thought or effort into that as well. And yes, all of those categories have subcategories then as well, but I wouldn't keep whittling it down and down and down and down and down to where you get to the point of where you're going, okay, my main focus is the quality of proteins at breakfast, where you're getting into such minute detail. Because if you're going that far down, then you're probably already at such a stage of fitness and health that you're in good enough condition that you've covered all the basics. So, as we discussed in our Nutrition 101 video a few weeks back, cover your basics, and for our approach it's cover the Warrior 20, and unless you're doing that, everything else is irrelevant. Get that done, get it a part of your lifestyle, and when you have that under control, then let's start worrying about portion control. When you have portion control and the Warrior 20 under control, then let's worry about kind of intolerances and kind of removing foods and testing different foods again. So if you're struggling with that, all these videos are up on our YouTube channel and they're all categorized by date as well, so just scroll through and you'll find it. So back to today's point here though is, again, so we have the 16 options and you just number them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and then 10 through 16. And again, one of these, which is your priority? And so again, right, 1's more of a priority than 2, 3 is more of a priority than 4, so 1 versus 3. Which of these two elements is a bigger priority that I feel I need to work on now? Well, 1's the priority. 1 versus 5, okay, well what's more important? What's going to have more of an impact? What's going to have more of a benefit? 1 will win over 5. And then, so we, just for argument's sake, we took number 12 as the option here. And then we end up with 2 options, okay? Which of these options basically is, as we said there, what's going to be more beneficial, what's going to be more impactful, what's going to be more maintainable, what's going to be more life-changing as well. That's the one that needs to be addressed first. By the same token, what's the bigger problem, what's the bigger issue, what's causing more problems, what's causing my health to be concerned. The one that's causing all these problems, or one that can cause the most positive impact, that's the one, in my opinion and in our experience, that you should be picking on. Alright guys, we're going to wrap it here then as well. There's an awful lot in the video. Go back, watch it, take notes, post comments if you have any questions on this stuff as well. We'll try and clarify it. But I really just want to stress it as well. If you do find doing this approach gets things more complicated, just go back and make it simpler. Go back to video 1 and watch how vague we were at it as well. We picked 4 simple topics. What was more important? Sleep, food, training or time management, food. And that can just be a general thing. So every time you have food then, you just make sure you're having the best quality you possibly can as often as you can. And it can be that simple there as well. Alright folks, thanks so much for your time. Talk to you soon. God bless. Bye.